Your app feels slow, not because the backend is slow, not because the network is slow, but because your front end is doing more work than it needs to. This is Data Handling and UX, where we explain front-end concepts using real production problems, not definitions. And today's topic is memoization. This is one of those topics interviewers love because it shows whether you understand performance and rendering, not just framework APIs. Why memoization exists. Modern front-end applications re-render constantly. State changes, inputs change, parents re-render, children re-render, and very often the same calculations run again and again, even when the inputs didn't change. Memoization exists to stop that waste, not to make things magically faster, but to avoid doing the same work twice. What problem it solves? Memoization solves three real problems. First, expensive calculations, like filtering large lists or computing derived values. Second, unnecessary re-renders, where components update even when nothing visible changed. Third, UI lag, that happens even when APIs and network calls are fast. If recalculating something is expensive and the inputs are stable, memoization helps. If not, it doesn't. How memoization works conceptually. At its core, memoization is simple. You take an input, you compute an output, and you store the result. Next time, if the input is the same, you reuse the result instead of recomputing it. That's it. The hard part isn't how it works, it's knowing when to apply it. Memoization in React, concept level. In React, memoization is explicit. You decide what should be cached, when it should recompute, and what causes re-renders. Tools like useMemo, useCallback, and component memoization exist to control rendering and recalculation. This makes React powerful, but it also makes misuse very common. Many apps feel slow not because they lack memoization, but because it's applied in the wrong places. Memoization in Angular, concept level. Angular approaches memoization differently. It's tied closely to change detection. Through things like pure pipes, on-push change detection, cached services or selectors, Angular avoids unnecessary work by not recalculating unless inputs change. It's less visible than React, but it's still memoization, just applied at a different layer. Why people misuse memoization. In real production applications, the mistakes are subtle. Developers memoize everything. They memoize cheap calculations. They use memoization to hide bad architecture. The result is more complexity, harder debugging, and sometimes worse performance. Memoization doesn't fix bad design. It only delays the pain. The Senior Decision Rule. Here's the rule experienced front-end engineers use. If the work is expensive and the inputs are stable, memoize it. If recalculating is cheap, don't. Memoization is a scalpel, not a hammer. Interview and production bridge. In interviews, definitions are easy, but real teams care about render cost, dependency correctness, and measurable performance gains. Senior engineers don't memorize hooks. They understand when work should happen and when it shouldn't. What's next? Next topic in this series. Cache this wrong. Client versus server caching in real front-end applications. And if you want Angular and React code examples, common pitfalls, and interview questions from beginner to senior level, comment questions, and I'll share the document.